So let's jump right into it. This is the legend of the 4-hour tape. You know that meme about how presidents and governors, after getting elected, look super shell-shocked and stressed the next time they make a public appearance just a week later? Like the first time that happens after you come into power is that you're pulled into a room and told all the secrets of the world? Well, it turns out it's true. As a matter of fact, it's a VHS tape, the 4-hour tape. The 4-hour tape was always a bit of an urban legend around the office. The details of Ben's role in the government are very, very vague, but to be absolutely clear, he is considered very low level. His role is caked between layers of bureaucracy, and in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty insignificant role. If you're working at his level, you're generally not privy to any of the high-level secrets. Yes, top secret meetings did occasionally take place in his building, but his focus was pretty limited to and heavily administrative. So in this case, you do what any department does when you're at the bottom of the totem pole. You discuss rumors, rumblings, crazy conspiracy theories, and everything in between. It's water cooler conversation for them. I wonder what the folks at the top are doing right now type stuff. But out of all the rumors at the office, the 4-hour tape was always the one Ben found to be the most fascinating. The crew of it, once you reach the highest security level clearance, you are sat down and shown this particular tape. Neither he nor his colleagues knew what types of contents were on the tape or if the tape even actually existed, but they found joy in the speculation that it existed every now and again. Most of the time, they found, with their little rumors or conspiracy theorists, that the most mundane, boring answer was actually the correct one. Life in general finds a way to surprise you with how monotonous everything can really be. Now, there's something you should know before continuing this story. Ben is a wimp. He's meek, anxious, and generally pretty restless. A chronic rule follower, there is no part of him that wants to dig up secret documents and uncover the truth about what happens at the highest levels of government in our country. So, when covering his accidental discovery 4 nights ago, keep in mind, he didn't want this. He didn't ask for it, and the only reason he shared this is because he really didn't know at the time how much time he had left anyway, and he couldn't live with this stuck in his conscience alone. It was nighttime at the office. Ben, who was known to be a bit of a workaholic, was really wanting to get something done before the week was over, so he was working later than usual. As he was wrapping up, he went to print a document on what he thought was his usual printer, the printer in his immediate vicinity. The notification on his computer showed that his document was being printed, but he didn't hear any noise coming out from the local printer. He proceeded to check the device he selected, and it looked like he accidentally closed on a printer that was being used on an entirely different floor. He let out a disappointing sigh. In any normal circumstances, he probably would have just forgotten about the mistake and reprinted the documents on his local computer again, but general management there was quite strict on team members making sure that all confidential documents were accounted for. They were not allowed to share department-specific documentation to other departments. Screw it, he thought. He looked up a map in his inbox showing the locations of all of the company printers. Turns out he'd accidentally clicked the wrong printer name, Prince Charming, on the 7th floor. Haha, funny name, he laughed to himself. Then off he went. He really should have just let it be. He got to the elevator, rode it up to the 7th floor. He emerged in mostly an empty office area. In case you're wondering, the building is huge where he worked, but he'd worked there long enough to know his way around, so he knew the area pretty well. He made his way through the hallways and eventually spotted the printer. Yes, with his freshly printed papers minting it. He gave himself a mental pat on the back for continuing of following the rules. But as he went to grab the papers, he noticed some light chatter from a meeting room nearby him. He looked through the window to see roughly 10 people hanging around a snack table. In the room was a large old-looking TV on a cart and rows of some of the fanciest folding chairs he'd ever seen, organized in a very neat fashion. He didn't think much of it and started to walk back towards the elevator until he heard the door fly open. "Hey, Mr. Boskowitz, right? Jesus, man, we were supposed to start 15 minutes ago. Get your ass in here." What? No, sorry, I think you have the wrong. I don't care why you're late. Just get in here, grab a plate of snacks, and sit down. We are starting ASAP. Put your phone in the bag, electronic watch in the bag, and everything else on your person that can be used to record audio or video, he responded hastily. Something about his sternness and tone short-circuited Ben's brain. For guys like him, there is a third option beyond fight or flight. It's called just go with it till it's over, also known as the captured rabbit strategy. He put his phone and watch in the bag, then meekly tried to butt in with another, "Sir, I'm not Mr. Boskowitz," but he had already pulled him into the room at this point. He closed the door, walked to the front, near the TV. He contemplated making a break for it, but he decided to just see through it. Hoping deep down that whatever was happening was as inconsequential as his job was. Everyone had their snack plates and were heading to their seats. Ben awkwardly grabbed a muffin from the snack table, put it on a napkin, and took a seat in the very back row. Everyone was spaced out evenly from each other. It didn't seem like anybody knew one another. He quietly sighed at the thought of having to sit through some sort of boring informational seminar or irrelevant training session. After a few minutes of everyone settling in, the man who originally drug him into the room started talking. There was an equally serious guy standing next to him and a Secret Service looking fella standing in the corner. Huh? Ben started to wonder to himself why they were about to watch a video from a very old school looking TV. Felt like he was back in elementary school or something. All right, I just need to do a final run through before we get started, said the man at the front. I know you all read through the emails and signed your releases. I just wanted to recap some of the ground rules. You're allowed to get up and grab another snack, but beyond that, we want you to pay full attention to the tape once it starts playing. If anyone needs to go to the bathroom, we strongly urge you to wait until the presentation is over. If you absolutely can't hold it, we will pause the tape and one of us will escort you. There is water in the corner by the snacks. Cups are right there as well. And goes without saying, but any discussion of this presentation to folks who do not have top compartmented clearance is a breach of your terms of employment, a breach of your non-disclosure agreement, a breach of your multiple signed releases, a breach of the U.S. Criminal Code in the state of Washington, and a breach of the conditions laid out by, and the committee name he highlighted sounded way above my clearance level. One of the men at the front of the room pulled a VHS tape from a bag and very slowly and securely put it into the VCR. Then press play. Ben took a deep breath. Those water cooler conversations he'd had with his coworkers were starting to float to the top of his mind, but he quelled them. There was probably no need for panic, he thought to himself. It was just a stupid government meeting, right? The tape started. The beginning was familiar enough. Various disclaimers about being incredibly confidential material, yada, yada, yada. Insignias of relevant organizations, presidential libraries, etc. Had seen lots of videos like this already, he thought. But wait, the insignia looked strange. Like something was off. He scanned it over again. Presidential libraries, that same eagle, those same stars. Weird. This time there was a navy blue hand on the left shoulder of the eagle. Had they updated the logo? How come he hadn't been informed of this? Before he had time to ponder on it too much, the tape cut to a logo he actually hadn't seen up to this point. Committee for the Protection and Preservation of Human Consciousness. The logo was just an image of planet Earth. Okay, fair enough, he thought. The video cut to a room that looked similar to the Congress floor, but with some strange differences. Seats were much more spaced out. The podium looked like it had seen its better days, and the whole room looked to be on a pretty steep incline. Everything was black and white. It looked like there was probably 50 or so people in attendance. He couldn't make out any of the faces. Everything looked very dated, like the video had been from the 50s or 60s. The tape lingered on this one shot for quite a while. Minutes passed. Ben noticed what looked like a choir, all in outfit and perfectly huddled next to each other, standing in one of the corners of the very large room. It was really starting to feel like he shouldn't have been seeing this. None of this was meant for his eyes, he told himself. After a few more minutes, the tape abruptly cut to an awkward angle of a man speaking at the podium in front of the room. It was way too zoomed in, enough that you couldn't see his eyes or his hair. It didn't look all that professional. You couldn't even tell who he was. He spoke. Members of the Committee for the Protection and Preservation of Human Consciousness, I thank you all for coming tonight. We are lucky to be in the good graces of our visitors today without rehashing our painful history. The tape cut to a camera slowly panning over all of the faces of the people seated in the room. The attendees looked pained, somber. The man continued his speech as the camera continued panning over the committee. We acknowledge that the journey to this moment has been an arduous one. I am pleased to say that humanity, faced with a dire ultimatum, has come to a majority decision. To our esteemed guests from across the solar system, we are thankful for the opportunity you have given us to negotiate with you. Adrenaline shot through Ben's entire being. Oh shit. We made contact with extraterrestrial life? This was the truth. Maybe like the saying, the truth would set him free. Before I outline the decision taken by humanity, I want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank the brilliant representatives from all of the nations across the world who came together to ensure that this decision was taken with the utmost responsibility, care, and appreciation for our human species. I am aware that this was not a unanimous decision. Shit, what did that mean? Sweat formed on Ben's brow. He suddenly felt nauseous. He awkwardly and slowly took a bite from his muffin. The tape returned to a now corrected angle of the speaker at the podium. His eyes were visible. They looked strained, like they'd seen multiple versions of hell. The nations who still disagree, he continued, I thank you nonetheless for accepting this majority decision. May this moment, which will be held in the secrecy throughout the rest of time, be appreciated as a critical milestone for human civilization. Tonight is not a victory, it is a somber moment. However, we were faced with only two options: extinction or accepting the terms of the treaty put forth by our visitors. We made our choice and believe time will show that it was the right decision. Well, what choice, Ben thought? I hereby announce that we accept the agreement put forth by our special guests who have chosen to go by the name custodians, will allow humanity on the planet Earth to continue to populate, grow, and innovate. In return, all governments of the world will honor the promise. Ben was growing impatient as the gentleman continued. Spit it out, he thought. What was the damn agreement, he thought to himself. We will not be covering every element of this agreement in this session. I will, however, highlight the main points. At this point, the video showed the man at the podium looking down. He was reading something. For the first time, he looked nervous, scared even. His human nature shone right through. We honor the agreement that the custodians hold the right to visit planet Earth on a recurring basis. They will be allowed to consume, for the basis of nourishment, a majority of our population on our planet after every visit. Remaining humans on Earth will be expected to breed and grow to capacity in time for the next visit. We acknowledge that we will maintain a parallel history which will be shared with our world's population to ensure that humanity stays motivated to continue existing as a species. This parallel history will suggest that mass extinction events are the result of man-made folly as opposed to the work of external forces. For the first time, Ben's flight or fight response was actually flight. He wanted to escape, but he didn't know what he'd even be running from. The last visit by the custodians was approximately in the year 1346, and it lasted 7 years. We will continue to honor our parallel history around this event. He just wanted it to end. The next visit, which will not be met with resistance, will be in the year 2028 and will run for 1 full calendar year on Earth, marking a 675-year gap between the last significant visit by the species known as the custodians. This visiting cadence is expected to speed up over time, as the remaining humans continue to sharpen their focus on building technology, allowing humanity to reproduce in a speedy and productive manner. Jesus Christ, it finally hit Ben like a high-speed train. Our planet is a goddamn farm. He wanted to look away, but he couldn't. The tape cut away to a larger view of the Congress-like room, the somber committee members in attendance, and the members of the choir in the corner, who one could only imagine looked horrified. Where were the visitors? Why can't I see them? Thought Ben. The camera panned to a number of larger, empty seats, the same slow style of video panning as the one that happened earlier with the committee members. No visible entities in the seats, but the seats themselves looked very blurry. The man at the podium carried on with his speech as the camera panning to the blurry seats continued. We acknowledge the privilege of knowing that there is indeed life in the cosmos, that extraterrestrial life has chosen to visit our planet, and that the cycle and balance provided by nature extends beyond the confines of this planet Earth. Much like humanity has found its place on Earth in the food chain, we acknowledge our place in the divine order of things when encountered with beings of greater power, understanding, cognitive function, and evolutionary progression. Oh hell, why did I stay late? Ben scolded himself. I should have made my identity clear from the beginning. I knew I wasn't supposed to see this. While the process of consumption is a painful and lengthy one, we respect the trade-off that comes with the preservation of our species. We also acknowledge, as part of the promise, that substitutes for human life in the form of clones, should we discover that technology in the future or other living species, will never function as a viable alternative for the nourishment, the speaker continued. Ben didn't need to know this. This was all way too specific for him. Our final major acknowledgement as part of this agreement is that we accept the custodians as the Great Almighty, as the entities we will now refer to as God. God, as an interstellar species, has revealed itself to us, and thus, the continued existence for the custodians is now the true priority of the people of our planet. We are blessed to play a part in the continuation of God. In God we trust. Amen. The tape then cut to footage of the choir as the speaker continued. We bless our visitors with this gift, a performance of the national anthems of all major nations of the world, and it will now commence. Audio of a very loud track of the Star Spangled Banner started playing from the video. Ben's stomach sank. Audio of a very loud backing track of the Star Spangled Banner started playing from the video. Ben's stomach sank. The tape showed footage of the choir singing on top of the track. Not sure if it was because they were scared for their lives, but you could really tell they were singing their hearts out. As they sang, the camera continued to pan over the blurry seats. They finished singing the anthem and then suddenly, fast forwarding. Hell, he had forgotten he was sitting in a room. He had disengaged from the video for a brief moment. He mentally returned to the present day. This was our world? This was our meaningless lives? The men at the front continued to fast forward through the tape. It looked like they were skipping through performances of the other national anthems. The fast forwarding went on for a while. Every small while, it looked like a new choir group was entering the room to sing a different national anthem. On and on the tape went. Ben had to fight the urge to pass out. One of the men at the front of the room, standing next to the TV, started speaking up. We are legally obligated to get to the end of this tape, but you don't need to look at the rest of it. Please feel free to look down or close your eyes, grab a snack, he said. Ben noticed others seated in the room, taking that advice. Most of them decided to look straight down, but for some weird reason, Ben couldn't look away. The fast-forwarding progressed. On the tape, it was yet another choir group joining to perform an anthem. Then another, then another. They were nearing the end. The fast-forwarding now showed a conversation between the man at the podium and another man who was whispering in his ear. The man at the podium was vehemently shaking his head. The other man continued whispering. This continued on for a brief moment. Eventually, there was a quick moment of the man at the podium begrudgingly nodding. The last few fast-forward moments of the tape remained burned into Ben's memory this very moment. They were absolute chaos. The attendees were sitting in their chairs frozen, shivering, crying. The people in the various choirs were running around the rooms in fast motion. As the blurry spots started covering them and ungodly things started happening to them. Why didn't I look away? Thought Ben. If ever there was a time to follow orders, it felt like this thing went on for way longer than it should have. Finally, the men at the front of the room stopped the fast forwarding. They pressed play on the tape to cover the very final moment. In the tape, the man at the podium, clearly emotional, spoke his final line. The agreement has been ratified by the custodians. Thank you all for attending. The final shot of the video is the full room. The committee members in their seats shivering and crying. The dismantled bloody choir members strewn about the room. The blurry seats with dark liquid smeared on them. Then the video cut away. Back to the same insignia on the black backdrop. The presidential libraries, that eagle, those stars. The navy blue hand on the wing of the eagle. The lights in the conference room turned on. The rest of the night was a blur. The men at the front of the room told us it would be best for us to sit for an hour to digest the information. No discussion about the video was allowed to take place. When we were ready to stand, we were allowed to leave and go home. They gave us some pointers on how to accept the information over the coming weeks. Things like taking long walks, exercising, watching a sitcom, etc. Ben wasn't even worried about them realizing he wasn't supposed to be there. If anything, he felt a strange camaraderie with everyone in the room. They were all truly in the same boat. As soon as he left the building, he got in his car and just drove for as long as he could. He'd stop for gas, then just keep driving, stop again, then keep driving again and again. He's hauled up in a hotel right now. He's just glad he could get this off his chest. Funny thing is, all he can think about is the length of that stupid tape. While I can't confirm, I feel like if it were played straight through without fast forwarding, it would have been only 3 hours. I wonder if the 4-hour tape rumor came from the fact that we all needed that extra hour to digest the information. Well, as the self-appointed leader of the committee for the acknowledgement, we should have just chose extinction. I don't feel the need to honor our captors by calling them by their name. If I don't see you again, Reddit, I appreciate the water cooler conversation.
This morning, questions after more unidentified objects are discovered over U.S. and Canadian airspace. According to a senior administration official, this latest object was in the shape of an octagon, unmanned, and traveling near sensitive sites at an altitude of 20,000 feet, posing a civilian flight risk. First detected Saturday as it flew over Montana, President Biden gave the order to shoot it down once it reappeared on radar out of an abundance of caution and at the recommendation of military leaders.
We have been more closely scrutinizing our airspace at these altitudes, including enhancing our radar, which may at least partly explain the increase in objects that we've detected over the past week.
This latest air defense operation coming just 24 hours after another object was spotted over Canada. U.S. and Canadian officials ordering it shot down.
It represented a reasonable threat to civilian aircraft. Canadian and American fighter jets were scrambled, and an American F-22 successfully shot down the object.
And that incident coming just one day after another unidentified object was shot down off the coast of Alaska. 3 incidents in less than a week since that Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the Carolina coast. But a senior U.S. official saying these 3 are different from that spy balloon. None appear to have a payload, and all are smaller.
It doesn't mean that they are coming from another country. It doesn't even mean that there are more of them. We're just looking for them, and so we're finding more of them.
An intensive search effort is now underway. Recovery teams in Alaska using Navy planes and helicopters to recover and analyze those objects they find. Tanya?
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC7 Chicago Eyewitness News.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
You may remember last week when scientists in Mexico revealed what they said were the corpses of aliens.
Yeah, the video of those little bodies sparked a lot of skepticism as to whether the figures were fake. This morning, the Mexicans releasing new video showing x-rays of the alleged alien remains. And they say they conducted 3 studies that all prove the bodies were not assembled and belong to a single skeleton. Doctors also say there are no signs of skull manipulation. The alleged alien corpses were found in Peru around 2017. So there, Leslie Lopez, they got proof.
Nah. No, you're going to have to open it up.
They've got x-rays.
What could it, No. No.
You're not a believer.
Right. No, that looks like that does not look real.
Germany, April 14th, 1561. At dawn, the citizens of Nuremberg awoke to what was described in a local news flyer as a very frightful spectacle. Various strange objects were spotted in the sky, engaged in what appeared to be an aerial battle. Could they have been witnessing a close encounter?
They see this incredible sight as the sun is coming up. They see what they describe as cigar-shaped objects, circles in the air, and crosses, flying crosses. And suddenly, these shapes begin emitting other shapes.
The spheres and discs were seen for a long time as they apparently were fighting in some kind of a battle over the city. In fact, the battle was so evident that the people in Nuremberg were actually able to perceive which side was winning. Some of the objects were seen to crash into the ground and disappear in a cloud of smoke or steam. Other objects were seen to fly off and disappear in the direction of the sun.
This entire event becomes memorialized in a broadsheet. Now, a broadsheet in the 16th century was literally a newspaper. And that broadsheet exists today in Zurich, Switzerland.
The Zurich Central Library to this day retains a copy not only of the famous woodcut that shows the 1561 sighting over Nuremberg, but also a 1566 wooding, a sighting from that year that was quite similar in Basel, Switzerland.
What's fascinating is it's a very similar event. People saw a bunch of circles in the air. In fact, a proliferation of circles in the air. They didn't necessarily interpret that as a battle in the air, but they did interpret it as some kind of heavenly sign.
Disclaimer: all of the stories featured in this episode of the Infographics Show come from actual military service members or other government officials, many of them vetted by independent researchers and local or national media outlets. It was late on a chilly February morning. Approximately 0230 hours, a security patrol stationed inside the nuclear weapons storage area of Nellis Air Force Base, otherwise known as Area 2, called into Central Security Control a sighting of what appeared to be vehicle headlights far outside the outer perimeter fence, a mile or two in the distance. This wasn't uncommon, as Area 2 was detached from Nellis Air Force Base, and everything from hikers to off-road enthusiasts would inadvertently stumble upon the little-known facility in the desert. Following standard procedure, the 2 outer security patrols, Oscars 1 and 2, were dispatched to assume overwatch positions on the reported headlights. Their job, as it often was in these dark desert nights, was to simply observe, and if the civilian vehicle approached too close to the facility perimeter, intercept it and have them turn around. As the 2 outer security patrols arrived atop the tall bluffs overlooking the reported sighting area, they spotted and confirmed what appeared to be 2 vehicle headlights approaching down the side of a nearby mountain. Inside of the nuclear weapons storage area, 2 additional patrols had moved close to the section of the fence the vehicle headlights were approaching, along with the site security supervisor, Security 1. A grand total of 11 Air Force security personnel were watching when suddenly the lights disappeared. Fearing that the oncoming off-road vehicle had turned off its headlights so as not to be tracked, Oscar 1 left its position on the bluffs and moved to an intercept position along the incoming vehicle's estimated avenue of approach. The site's security controller requested the assistance of a main base K9 unit, which had happened to be in the area, and the 2 patrols linked up, leaving their vehicles behind, moved out to the desert to set up an LPOP, or Listening Post Observation Post. The desert, though, was quiet. Despite the incoming vehicle having been within 2 miles of the fence line, there was no sound of a revving engine across the still dark desert. Scans with both thermal imagers and night vision goggles revealed nothing. And then suddenly, the radio came to life. Patrols on the interior of the nuclear weapons depot began calling in lights on either side of the dismounted Oscar 1 and K-9 patrol. From their vantage point atop the tall igloo-style weapon bunkers, they could see a series of lights appear in the 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 3 o'clock of the dismounted patrolmen. Incredibly though, the 3 men and 1 dog on the ground could see nor hear anything. Then the site security supervisor came on the radio. Oscar 1, be advised, the lights are moving on you. The 3 mysterious lights, seen only by interior patrols, suddenly rushed the dismounted patrolman. The senior patrol leader ordered his partner and the K-9 patrolman to lock and load. With lights approaching their position on the desert floor at high speed, he was taking no chances. As far as he was concerned, the mysterious and now aggressive behavior of the lights indicated hostile intent. What happened next depends on which side of the fence line you happen to have been on. For the 3 patrolmen and 1 dog on the outside of the fence line, nothing happened. The 3 men held their breath, M4s at the ready, and nervously scanned the desert with thermals and night vision, but spotted nothing. They even checked with the dog, who was trained to indicate if it sensed danger, and yet nothing. After a few minutes, the patrol leader called back in over the radio to ask for an update on the lights, but received nothing but static. Trying a second and then third radio, the exterior patrols got no reply and slowly walked back to their vehicles to attempt to make contact with the interior patrols again. On the inside of the fence, though, at least 24 security forces patrolmen, including the Master Sergeant Security Supervisor, had seen the lights converge on the location of the dismounted patrol and then simply disappear. Even more incredibly though, when the exterior patrolmen finally made contact with the interior patrols, they were told they'd been out of contact for 20 minutes. Yet each man involved in the incident on the outside of the fence line swore that only 3 or 4 minutes had passed for them. Where had the other 15 minutes of time, all spent without radio contact, gone? Things would only get weirder, though, before they got any better. This incident would prove to be only the opening act to some of the strangest events ever reported by U.S. military personnel. And we can tell you about it in first person because at the infographic show, we got a chance to sit down with one of the security forces patrolmen involved in these incidents. After the exterior light show incident, things started to get weird. I mean, there had always been weird things out in Area 2. We had everything from ghost stories to weird animal sightings. I probably think it was all BS or just tricks the dark plays on you, except a lot of this stuff was seen by numerous people at the same time, or with the help of pretty advanced night vision and thermal imaging devices. What started happening after the lights incident, though, took the cherry in weird and outright dangerous. Within a week of the incident, one of the daytime exterior patrols ran across the corpse of a donkey, which wasn't that weird since there was no civilization around us and animals sometimes wandered out there. What was weird, though, was that this donkey had no head. It was cleanly cut off, and there was some crusted blood around the neck, but there was no blood anywhere around the body on the ground. We ended up shrugging it off, figuring that somebody had butchered the animal, just dumped it in the desert, completely unaware of how close they got to our facility in doing so. But then, just a few days later, another donkey corpse was found, and this one was missing its head and all 4 of its legs. Again, no vehicle tracks, no blood on the ground, just a decapitated legless donkey. The very next day after that, a third donkey was discovered by an exterior patrol, this time at night. This donkey was also missing its head and legs, but it had its stomach cut open with 1 clean incision, and the entire contents of the body cavity were gone. Once more, there was no blood on the desert floor and no vehicle tracks. We forgot about the donkeys after a while, and even though people kept reporting strange lights, nothing too dramatic happened until about 6 months later. What happened next took the cake. It was almost a full-blown national nuclear security incident. We used to practice assaulting our own storage facilities just in case bad guys got in and tried to steal a nuke, or just barricaded themselves so they could set off a nuke in place and irradiate large swaths of Nevada. One of those nights we underwent our usual exercise scenario, involving a response by multiple patrols and an assault into our designated training structure. All in all, somewhere around 17 to 18 people were involved. Most of the patrols were at the assault training structure, but we kept the patrol armed with an M249 machine gun on overwatch just to keep an eye on the desert behind us. Now, Area 2, the nuclear weapons storage depot, was huge, several square miles, so there was lots of empty desert inside the fence perimeter. As we were lining up to assault the training structure, we suddenly got a call over the radio from our overwatch patrol located on a hill about a quarter mile from us. The patrol said, "Hey, you got 2 figures lying prone in the desert behind you." We assumed this was part of the training exercise, so our on-scene commander redeployed a small element to secure our rear as the rest of the response force prepared to assault. However, our flight leader, or security supervisor, immediately came running up to us and told us to lock and load. He then called over the radio and told Central Security Control to terminate the exercise. Then he turned to look at us and said, "I didn't put anyone out in the desert. Whoever's out there is not us." Now, our security supervisor was in charge of running the exercises, and he would task random people with playing the bad guys. So when he told us that he hadn't put anyone out there, our blood ran cold. This was about as high a security area as you can get in the US military, home to dozens of nuclear weapons. Anyone who had somehow penetrated our security was not here to have a friendly chat. We immediately returned our magazines to our weapons and charged them, switching safeties off. Our Overwatch patrol had good eyes on the figures. One of the guys on that patrol was using a sensitive thermal camera, and the other was using night vision. That's the standard procedure for us since it gives you 2 vision modes to ID a target. According to them, the figures seemed to be laying on their bellies, watching us from about 100 meters behind, hiding behind a small berm. The desert out there was pitch black, so we got into a long line and formed a sweeping element. 2 heavy gunners on Humvees watched our backs and got ready to light up anything that turned hostile as we started our sweep in the desert. As we approached, our Overwatch patrol warned us that the figures were crawling into new positions. They were actually reacting to our movements and trying to remain hidden. According to the 2 guys who could see them over night vision and the thermal unit, the figures appeared frantic, as if panicking at having been discovered observing us. Yet they never stood up and stayed low on the ground on their bellies. For us, on the sweeping element, we couldn't see a thing, despite also using our own night vision goggles. However, the desert was thick with brush, so staying unseen would have been pretty easy for anyone laying low. We kept on moving forward, weapons at the ready, as our Overwatch patrol stayed in constant contact with us, letting us know what the figures were doing. Then, as we got within 25 meters, they just vanished. According to the Overwatch patrol, the 2 figures were there one moment and then completely disappeared the next. No flash of light, no sound, nothing, just disappeared. We rushed forward to the last known location and swept the area, finding nothing, although one of our guys had brought his handheld thermal imager and was actually able to pick up traces of warmth on the desert floor. Somebody or something had in fact been laying on that floor, long enough to heat it up, watching us as we practice our assault techniques. That incident might have been bone-chilling to hear about, definitely to have lived through, but it was far from the only incident involving possible UFOs or even aliens and nuclear weapons. Throughout the Cold War, the United States and even the Soviet Union had several extremely high-profile incidents involving nuclear weapons and UFOs, and these incidents have been reported by individuals with extremely high levels of credibility. In 1977, unidentified flying objects not only proved that they could intrude on U.S. airspace unimpeded, but that they might even have full control over our nuclear weapons. As told by United States Air Force Technical Sergeant Thomas E. Johnson, who was a flight security supervisor at the time, one night a security alert team was dispatched in response to strange lights low in the sky. At the time, Johnson was stationed at a North Dakota missile field, home to dozens of Minuteman intercontinental ballistic missiles housed in underground silos, ready to fire on the Soviet Union at a moment's notice. As the team neared the reported area, they spotted lights in the sky ahead of them, varying in color. The lights would zoom from one location to another at impossible speeds, or other times would simply blink out in one location and blink in at another location. The security team leader said that he couldn't tell if they were multiple objects or just one incredibly fast object. Prior to the incident, the security personnel had been briefed by Air Force Office of Special Investigation agents that unknown helicopters had been reported at other Strategic Air Command bases. The Office of Special Investigation, or OSI, is like the Air Force's FBI, and the special briefings indicated that something very peculiar was going on at other U.S. Air Force bases. Yet that night, the object, or objects, didn't move like helicopters and made no sound. What they did do, though, was far more terrifying. Directly under the lights, the missile launch officers responsible for launching the Minutemen in case of war reported that they lost control over some of the 10 missiles they were in charge of. One of the launch officers later said that they couldn't communicate with the missiles, and if they had needed to launch, they would have been unable to. Incredibly, though, this type of incident would be repeated numerous times throughout the Cold War, and sometimes the actual targeting codes programmed into each missile would be altered or completely erased. Each of these occurrences always happened in conjunction with sightings of UFOs. Are UFOs monitoring our nuclear weapon sites? Is it a coincidence that every major nuclear weapon or production facility in the United States has a long history of UFO sightings? For a growing number of people, the UFO interest in our nuclear weapons is very real, and the case was only strengthened when, after the fall of the Soviet Union, former Soviet military and government officials revealed that their nuclear sites had also been host to UFO incidents. Are we being visited by aliens? Check out our video were these historic monuments actually secret alien invasions? Or perhaps you'd rather watch something a little less out of this world? Then click this video instead. Either way, click one now before the Zeti reticulans eat all of our brains.
In his book, The Gods of Eden, author William Bramley cites private journals and other publications throughout Europe, which contain accounts of cigar-shaped flying objects emitting noxious mists. The first reports of this kind began during the mid-14th century, closely corresponding to the outbreak of the worst health epidemic in human history, the Black Plague.
The Black Plague back in the 1300s, many have said, was caused by a virus from a rodent bitten by fleas, this disease that wiped out 75+ million people on the planet at the time. But there's another theory by a fellow by the name of William Bramley who says that the Black Plague was created by ETs, that they wanted to eradicate human beings for whatever horrible reason.
We know that plague can be spread by rodents, but there weren't that many rodent infestations being reported back then, at least not enough to account for all of the breakouts that we had. So what you find in the literature from that time are numerous reports of bright lights moving through the sky, emitting gas, or what they call mists. And you find them in China, you find them in Europe. There are similar reports from the Justinian plague from earlier in history, and even later plagues, the cholera epidemics. You find similar stories of mists that are the cause of the plague. We have weapons like that, biological warfare. As for the motive as to why this happened, I can only kind of scratch my head because in the UFO phenomena, we see certain consistent patterns, but we don't always understand the motive.
Italian historian Matteo Villani, who both chronicled the Black Death and died from it in the 14th century, wrote of pestilence reported by travelers from Asia. He even wrote that people were convinced they could actually see the plague coming through the streets. But what some ancient astronaut believers find to be even stronger evidence of alien involvement are the numerous reports of mysterious black-cloaked creatures who would appear on the outskirts of villages just before plague broke out. Contemporary accounts describe them as having terrifying faces and waving long, scythe-like objects dispensing noxious mists. It's the image we know today as the Grim Reaper.
We do need more money, but we don't just need more money for vaccines for children eventually. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead. And that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money.
Today is August 19th, 2024, and yet countries are now preparing for additional lockdowns. And no, this has nothing to do with COVID. We are now hearing about a new national health emergency. This is going to be global, according to many experts to understand. The U.S. is experiencing additional cases. The Philippines, same thing, experiencing additional cases and from people that have yet to travel, and it's all because of Mpox. Now, I want to address what's going on, what the World Health Organization is saying, what experts are telling us, and what you should be concerned with living here in the United States. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates, and now let's begin. So let's address the big question in the room. Are we about to experience additional lockdowns? Well, according to experts in India, they are already preparing airports and ports of entry to be prepared for lockdowns, to quarantine anybody, and I mean anybody, that looks like they have Mpox. Just look at this. Says the World Health Organization Director General declares Mpox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern, and they are not stepping back from that. they're actually ramping up. Look at this. It says Mpox outbreak. Center sounds alert at all airports, border land ports as well. Now, I want to read a little bit of this to you. It says New Delhi. The Union Health Ministry has instructed all airports and land ports on the borders with Bangladesh and Pakistan to remain vigilant for international passengers showing symptoms of Mpox. Okay? This is not going to stop. What we have learned over the past handful of years is how to deal with a potential pandemic. Now, did masking work? It helped, yes. But did it prevent COVID from spreading? Yeah, a little bit. Did vaccines work? Yeah, a little bit. But was there a lot of studies done to say that, yes, they didn't work? Yeah. But here's what we know does work. Making sure the public understand the risks. Making sure that, yes, if you have Mpox, you quarantine yourself. Simple as that, right? That's it. It's nothing too scientific, just quarantine. Just wait. Be patient. Now, why do I say this? Well, it's because of this. A man with no travel history is the first Mpox case in the Philippines since December. Now, how could somebody that didn't travel to, the DRC, how did they get Mpox? That's the big question. And this is what many people are waiting for answers on. How does this really transmit from one person to another? How's it carried? Does it go through wastewater? These are all questions people are asking. But yes, scientists don't have a lot of answers just yet. It's still something they're learning. And the reason why they're learning this is because it's a new variant. Look at this one. It says Mpox cases on the rise in South Florida. How the newest variant differs from the one in 2022. It says doctors in South Florida could be more susceptible to disease spread because it's an international destination. That's key. You know what else is an international destination? The United States. The entire United States. Not just Miami, not just Los Angeles, not just San Diego and Chicago and, well, Denver, New York, right? Everybody, every place. Everybody's just moving around. I want to read a little bit of this to you. Look at this. It says, doctors say the new Clade 1 variant is deadlier and seems to be spreading faster than Clade 2 did during the outbreak in 2022. That spread across the world, including South Florida. Unlike Clade 2, the Jackson Health System says 75% of cases involving Clade 1 are in children. Why would children get this virus a little bit easier than adults? Well, it's simple. Children have a weakened immune system, just like the elderly. So they're more susceptible to catching this virus. Here's the other reason. Children like to put their hands on everything. They'll touch doorknobs and they'll touch different handrails. They'll wipe their hands on walls, right? Some are even licking the handrails. They're kids. That's what they'll do. So that's why they're able to contract this virus a little bit easier. But I want to show you this one as well. Could the new Mpox threat cause significant harm in the U.S.? It says an apparently more dangerous strain of the Mpox virus is circulating rapidly in a number of countries, with the first reported cases outside of Africa reported this week in Sweden. Yeah. The U.S. is at risk. The reason why the U.S. is at risk for multiple reasons. Number one, we have so many people still entering into the United States. Our borders are not secure. People still come across the borders and come into the U.S. through plane, through boat, right? Some swim, right? There's so many ways you can get in. But that's one of the reasons why we're at risk, is because we don't know where people are really coming from, where they've been, their health conditions, right? These are all things we don't know. But I want to show you something else. One of the things that I got a lot of questions on just recently are these lockdowns. Is the United States going to lock down? Are we going to lock down our borders? Are we going to lock down schools? Are we going to make sure people cannot go in and out of hospitals without being checked? Well, the answer is no. The World Health Organization didn't order nations to prepare for Mpox mega lockdowns either. This is what some people were saying. And I'm not here to spread fear. I'm not here to make you worry. I'm here to give you the facts. The World Health Organization has not instructed anybody to lock down. Now, if cities want to lock down, that's on them. If countries want to lock down, again, it's on them. Is the United States going to lock down? I don't think so. Here's one of the reasons why. Experts say a lockdown, especially after the disaster of the last pandemic, a lockdown right before the election would be devastation to Democrats. Now, whether or not a lockdown is a good idea or not, that's beside the point. That's not the question here. The question is, will it happen? Experts believe that no, it will not happen. Now, here's what I find is very interesting. You go look on social media, you look on Reddit or TikTok, Instagram, you see something. It's this. It says monkeypox outbreak before election sparks do not comply movement. That's what's been going around. Do not comply with lockdowns. Do not comply with vaccine mandate. Do not comply with just do not comply. Now, this is going to spread. The movement, but also the virus. That is what experts are telling us, that no matter what we do, this virus will continue to spread. But we can minimize it. So, just wanted to share that with you, that as of right now, yes, there are some signs that countries, especially over in Africa, right over in India, that they are planning on locking down if we see a potential outbreak. Again, that's if we see a potential outbreak getting closer. They will lock down according to reports. One of the reasons why is because many of these countries have still not rebounded from what we went through during the pandemic. So, as soon as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is all we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Mpox, which is usually mild but can kill, has been endemic in parts of Africa for decades. A new strain, however, appears to spread more easily through routine close contact. According to the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over 15,000 Mpox cases and 461 deaths were reported on the continent this year so far. That's a 160% increase from the same period last year. A total of 18 countries have reported cases.
Mpox has been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for more than a decade, and the number of cases reported each year has increased steadily over that period. Last year, reported cases increased significantly, and already the number of cases reported so far this year has exceeded last year's total, with more than 14,000 cases and 524 deaths. As many of you who tune into our regular press conferences know, WHO has been working on the Mpox outbreak in Africa and raising the alarm that this is something that should concern us all. Last week, I announced that I was convening an emergency committee under the international health regulations to evaluate the upsurge of Mpox in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and other countries in Africa. Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives. A public health emergency of international concern is the highest level of alarm under international health law. The emergency committee's advice to me and that of the African CDC Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, which yesterday declared a public health emergency of regional security, are aligned. WHO is on the ground, working with the affected countries and others at risk through our country and regional offices, as well as with partners including the Africa CDC, NGOs, civil society, and more. For example, we're providing missions to analyze blood samples and confirm cases of mpox. We're supporting laboratories to sequence viral samples. We're on the ground supporting case investigation and contact tracing, risk communication, and community engagement. We're training health workers and supporting clinicians to provide appropriate care. We're supporting countries to access vaccines and develop the strategies to roll them out, and much more. To fund this work, WHO has developed a regional response plan requiring an initial $15 million. We have released about $1.5 million from the WHO Contingency Fund for emergencies, and we plan to release more in the coming days. We're also appealing to donors to fund the rest of the response plan. WHO is committed in the days and weeks ahead to coordinate the global response, working closely with each of the affected countries and leveraging our on-the-ground presence to prevent transmission, treat those infected, and save lives.
The evidence we have on the number of cases, the number of deaths, they are just the tip of the iceberg. And the reason is that mpox is largely a mild condition. We have limited surveillance. We have limited capacity to do the testing that's required. We have limited capacity to do the contact tracing and the reporting. So they are at multiple points in this. The information we have reflects only a partial situation of what's actually happening. So that means that even though the situation and the evidence we had showed that the problem was quite severe, it's in reality probably even more so given the limitations we have. Africa is currently in a situation where there's a high burden of cases. There are far more cases now than there were when the WHO declared a public health emergency of international concern in 2022. In fact, if you look at the period, the most recent period, the number of cases in Africa is more what it was when the peak was declared in 2022. So it's very clear that we are now dealing with a different situation, a situation where the cases are far more than we've seen in the past year and in the past 2 years. So we have a high burden of cases.
This is not just an African issue. Mpox is a global threat, a menace that knows no boundaries, no race, no creed. It is a virus that exploits our vulnerabilities, preying on our weakest point. And it is in this moment of vulnerability that we must find our greatest strength and demonstrate that we are all learning from the COVID lesson and we are playing solidarity.
And that's when I realized that in the Matrix, when Morpheus holds up the battery and he says, "We are the energy." And when I first saw the Matrix, I had no idea what he was talking about. I now have a much better idea what Morpheus was saying. What we energy for at this stage is open to interpretation. But what I do know, more than anything I've ever held dear, is that everything we've been taught is a lie.
Don't let them control it. They will indoctrinate you. Don't believe their lies. It's all bullshit. Everything you believe is a lie. Howdy. Is controlled by your belief. Open your mind. Don't let them control you. They will indoctrinate you. Don't believe their lies. It's all bullshit.
Sudosi budosi naranjanasi samsara maya pariyajitesi samsara svavanam jajamohad nidram najanma mrityor traisat svarupi Sudosi budosi naranjanasi samsara maya pariyajitesi samsara svavanam jajamohad nidram najanma mrityor traisat svarupi Sudosi budosi naranjanasi samsara maya pariyajitesi samsara svavanam jajamohad nidram najanma mrityor traisat svarupi Sudosi budosi naranjanasi samsara maya pariyajitesi samsara svavanam jajamohad nidram najanma mrityor traisat svarupi You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. Sudo se budo se naranjana se samsara maya pariyajite se samsara svapanam traja moha nidram na janma mrityor trisatsvarupi. Sudo se budo se naranjana se samsara maya pariyajite se samsara svapanam jaja moha nidram na janma mrityor trisatsvarupi. Sudo se budo se naranjana se samsara maya pariyajite se samsara svapanam jaja moha nidram na janma mrityor trisatsvarupi. You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. You are forever pure, you are forever true, and the dream of this world can never touch you. So give up your attachment and give up your confusion and fly to that space that's beyond all illusion. Sudo se budo se naranjana se samsara maya pariyajite se samsara svapanam jaja moha nidram na janma mrityor trisatsvarupi. Sudo se budo se naranjana se samsara maya pariyajite se samsara svapanam jaja moha nidram na janma mrityor trisatsvarupi. Sudo se budo se naranjana se samsara maya pariyajite se samsara svapanam jaja moha nidram na janma mrityor trisatsvarupi.
Alright, folks. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday, and welcome to yet another episode of Proceeding Clarity, put on by BrooklynStation.com and done by yours truly, Infinite Sorrow, aka Jay Bernhardt, the manager of Brooklyn Station. However, I wish to stress that the opinions and views expressed on this program have nothing to do with anybody or anything associated with BrooklynStation.com and are presented for educational purposes only. I tend to use, I'd like to take some of the good research I find and let you draw your own conclusions for the most part, but with a little bit of a twist of my own perception. But alright, so the start of this kind of showed, I mean, this is basically the ground where I want us to get on here is the realization that, you know, there are other beings out there. you want to call them aliens, it's fine. Angels, jinn, Anunnaki, whatever you want to call them. You know, we're not the only entities in this universe by a long shot. And as a matter of fact, as I've kind of stressed and shown, our ability to perceive the universe around us is a lot more limited than we think. If you go amongst learned people, especially in the esoteric communities, they tend to speak of the process of unlearning. And one of the things you have to unlearn is to really bother with the semantics of these other beings, because, I mean, they exist throughout our mythology. Yeah, I'm going to go into kind of an interesting story here in a minute, just regarding my research into the two authors I've been reading on the Anunnaki, both of which have very opposing views, which would be Zachariah Sitchin and Maximilian Lafayette, which, researching Sitchin, well, we'll get into that in a minute, I mean, and I'm gonna introduce you to a little bit of Lafayette, and what these are excerpts from one of his books, and it's speaking of alien abduction, because, I mean, you can't really study human history, and especially not dig for, like, lost history without getting into entities from other places, and I mean, that's the term other has gotten vaster as time went by, to the point where it's we live in a mind-bogglingly vast reality that's, like, replicated by thousands of other vast realities that we can't even perceive. So, yeah, it's kind of a trip. So, you really can't take me nowhere. So what I did was I made, like, a little story song that kind of explains how the whole spirituality has been for me. And I think I'm going to let you enjoy that right now for a minute, I was going to get kind of in-depth. As a matter of fact, now it's getting to the point where I'm going to start a little bit more of a research type of approach to everything. But no sooner than I skipped a week so I could focus on the station, then we all kind of developed health issues here. I'm just getting over a sinus infection. Hate those things. Didn't get a thing done while I had that going on, because, that's how sinus infections, that's how productive they make you feel. Yeah, so, oh, well, look at that. That was sweet. I don't know how it did that. That's wild. Will it do it again? No. Well, alright, anyway, so where was I? Oh yeah, rabbit hole. This is basically what spirituality has been like for me. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but enjoy. To the rabbit hole. Hey guys, without warning, I'll prove the merch out of nowhere. Forcefully prepare me down. I took the moment I heard the thousands of the road.
Sitting at his table is none other than Cthulhu, the ancient cosmic entity with otherworldly powers, and writhing in dim light. Its presence is palpable, a living nightmare at heart. The table has a decorative, vast superlative, and an atmosphere thick with tension. The stakes, they're not just high, they're cataclysmic. The ante to sit at this table is everything that matters to you. And the prize, everything that matters to everyone. An all or nothing game for the survival of the human race. Our traveler against all logic and reason decides to sit at the table. He drops his backpack with a heavy thud, its contents clattering on the floor. He breathes deep, mustering every ounce of courage he has left. This is his moment of truth, the ultimate gambit. His eyes lock with those of the beast sitting across from him. Cthulhu's gaze is chilling, ancient knowledge and leverage emanating from its every pore. The creature's tentacles twitch, as if mocking the man's bravery or foolishness. With trembling hands, the man leads up. He places everything that matters to him on the table. Memories, dreams, loved ones, all represented by a single metaphorical stack of poker chips. The game begins. The cards are dealt, faces blank to the uninitiated, but teeming with hidden meanings and dark truths for those who dare to look closer. Each round is a mental battle, a tug of war between hope and despair. Sweat trickles down the man's forehead. His heart races, pounding against his ribcage like a drum of doom. He can't afford to lose, not this time, not when the stakes are so unimaginably high. Cthulhu's expression remains invisible, his alien mind working through the intricacies of the game. The man fumbles with his cards, the weight of the world literally on his shoulders. Each decision, every bet, is a step closer to salvation or annihilation. The final hand is dealt. The room seems to shrink, the walls closing in. Time slows to a crawl. The man looks at his cards, his face a mask of determination. This is it, the moment of reckoning. He lays down his hand, revealing a combination that could either be his salvation or his doom. The room holds its breath. Cthulhu's eyes narrow, its tentacles curling in anticipation. In that split second, the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. Will the man triumph against the cosmic odds, or will Cthulhu claim another soul, plunging the world into eternal darkness? Only time will tell. But remember, in a game where the stakes are everything, sometimes it's all or nothing.
Alright, folks, so what we're going to do here is next we're going to go into a series of all the King and Queen Brooklyn Station LLC artist videos, all the songs for you to listen to real quick to promote them. And then I'm going to discuss a species that's curiously not mentioned in the Alright, folks, I wanted to get a lot further than this, but I've had no less than 25 different takes I had to do with this, because every time I try to assemble all the information together, somewhere along the line, something would make it crash. So, 25 different times I had to start over from scratch and try to figure out why it was crashing, which, it was a nightmare. And then figure out how to make it work without crashing. So I managed to do that, but it didn't leave me a lot of time left to get it rendered and all that. So next week we're gonna work again on this alien abduction kind of thing. And there's a reason why I'm wanting to go into this, and we'll go into that next week too. I mean, I actually had a lot further I wanted to get, but 25 times. It's like just start a project over again 25 times in a row. It's frustrating. So there was a lot of resistance to the information contained within this episode. That a lot of the information didn't come from me. That's fine. I'm not a man that's egotistical. I don't have to tell you the information. I just want it to be available to you, because as Mr. Tellinger said in one of the episodes I showed, a lot of times when you're talking to people, they just don't have the right information. And history's starting to read a lot more like an episode of Star Wars meets, God, who knows. H.P. Lovecraft most certainly, as my tune, the Rabbit Hole, showed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go with a tune of mine, Bo Shiva Shambho, which is a mantra. Like, if you want, you can close your eyes, do your meditation to it, and actually it does elevate your consciousness. But, it's up to you if you want to try it like that. Next week we'll go into the and versus the Greys, which will lead me to discussing the two opposing views on the Anunnaki, and what the possible alien agenda might be, as well as how that actually relates to me, because there is some relevance to me in all that story. And then we'll start getting into, it's time to start getting into stuff a little bit more, I guess, symbology, mathematically, and cymatics. We got a lot of ground to cover. I mean, there's a lot out there that people, should probably know. In an ideal world, we would teach our children this kind of stuff, but this is as far from an ideal world. So hopefully, maybe someday we will live in an ideal world. We have the capacity. With that, I'm going to leave you with a Bo Shiva Shambho, tuned by Infinite Sorrow. I've been listening to BrooklynStation.com. And if you would like to advertise with us, call me at 929-694-8741. Again, that's 929-694-8741. And we do have an open mic session that we broadcast live on Sunday nights starting at 6. So we're at 1752 Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn. We'd love to see you there for it. Thank you.
Shiva Shambho Swayambho Bo Shiva Shambho Swayambho Bo Shiva Shambho Swayambho Bo Shiva Shambho Swayambho
So let's jump right in.
Style on the beat. I've been looking for you, I've been searching for you, I've been calling your number, I want to take you to mama. I've been looking for you, I've been searching for you, I've been calling your number, I want to take you. So where you did, tell me where you did, anywhere you did, not there I want it. So where you did, tell me where you did, anywhere you did, not there I want it. This where you did, tell me where you did, I go lap you did, just tell me where you did. I go give all the girl them backspace. You go enter my queen shipper. You did to stop the boys for Insta. Mona Lista, hasta la vista. Yeah, say what you want, I go buy for two. Do anything for you. I go carry you, show you what I mean. So where you did, tell me where you did, anywhere you did. Not day I one day, anywhere you did. Tell me where you did. Anywhere you did, now day I one day. I've been looking for you, I've been searching for you, I've been calling your number, I want to take you to mama. I've been looking for you, I've been searching for you, I've been calling your number, I want to take you. So where you did, tell me where you did, anywhere you did, not there I want it. Caliport. So we they do our thing, we they keep everything on thread. We do they on set, our drip on check. I'ma go when life hits you hard, just been go make you wait. Original king selector, that G is my guy. We gon' let them know, so they go do their body. We gon' make them feel, so they matter their body. Oh no, we they give them vibes, sweet vibes and melodies. Unical FM 103.5, that is the frequency. No go do, no go try to the top that. You just meet is a very bad guy. Alongside Rocky Papa. No go do, no go try to the top that. You just meet is a very bad guy. Alongside Rocky Papa. From Monday to Sunday, you just meet, they give them the do. But they make them my best, all about dance and feel alright. From Palin to New York, Rocky Papa last steady representing, no. Slope on a big flame, when I cook I jump in the top and they feel. Let them know, so they go do their body. We gon' make them feel, so they matter their body. Oh no, we they give them vibes, sweet vibes and melodies. Unical FM 103.5, that is the frequency. No go do, no go try to get on that. You just meet is a very bad guy. Alongside Rocky Papa. No go do, no go try to get on that. You just meet is a very bad guy. Alongside Rocky Papa. You just meet, they give them bedu. She goes there,
pretty little princess goodness. Oh my God, yeah, she's full of greatness. I go bless you every day on my diet. Any nigga come close, I go sharp diet. On top me to sell a H, baby no fit diet. Follow me, parachute, make we go fly jet. This one no be street matter, never ever fly fence. Carry me, meaty papa, make up pay your diary. On a wedding day, all of us will fly yellow. With my fellow, them go follow. Cause I'm slim and I'm fresh, never die. A, B, C, me and you go come together. 1, 2, 3, no stress, no stress. A, B, C, me and you go come together. 1, 2, 3, no stress, no stress. Brother me, but no bother me. I don't care about the economy. Buhari, oh no Buhari. Anything you want, I go ordering. Hello, babe, into the room. Yeah, me and you, yeah, we go talk. Oh, boy. You could talk, kitty, go. You could talk, kitty, talk. Yeah, you could talk. I never pay for a fool, we could talk. We could talk, kitty, go. A, B, C, me and you go come together. 1, 2, 3, no stress, no stress. A, B, C, me and you go come together. 1, 2, 3, no stress, no stress. Anything you want, normally I go do. I go shift to womb if you tell me to do. Yeah, to the promised land, all of us, we go reach, yeah. Listen to rhythm, harmony, melody, show walking, comedy. Me and you go chop money, everly, normally. My money, it the body. I no go never, ever ready for money. I get money for body, my pocket, bank account, for wallet. Normally, I no go borrow for money. I get money for body, my pocket, bank account, for wallet. Normally, I no go borrow for money. Yeah. A, B, C, me and you go come together. 1, 2, 3, no stress, no stress. A, B, C, me and you go come together. 1, 2, 3, no stress, no stress.
Tiger Man on the mix.
Number 1 David Brown, oh, 89 baddest boy. King and Queen Radio, worldwide.
It's Amy's sound.
Yeah. Ema, yeah. No normal, this crazy love's an anomaly, yo. Right. Gradually, gradual. This girl I swear I gradually, Girl, I dey wait for your door. I swear I no go come out. Your body tight, no be Chinese, so your beauty enter my eyes, so baby come close, make we dance tonight. Anything you want, I go buy tonight. Come with your friends, make we vibe tonight, oh, and we could dance tonight. Yo, you're my imam, yo. Yo, you're my imam, oh. You turn a man to a sinner, oh. Girl, you're my imam, yo. Yo, you're my imam, oh. You turn a man John Cena, oh. You turn a man John Cena, oh. Girl, I dey wait for your door. I swear I no go come on. Your body tight, no be Chinese, so your beauty enter my eyes, so baby come close, make we dance tonight. Anything you want, I go buy tonight. Come with your friends, make we vibe tonight, oh, and we could dance tonight. Girl, you're my imam. Ram pa pa pam. Wine am go down, down. Ram pa pa pam. I say, girl, you're my ima, fine like my shima. Got your body tight, girl, you cure my fever. And I swear to God, girl, you fine pansima. And I wanna make you be mine. Say, I say, girl, you're my ima, fine like my shima. Girl, your body tight, girl, you cure my fever. And I swear to God, girl, you fine pansima. And I wanna make you be my, say, girl, for your love, I go follow you. You be my music, I go solo you. Your beauty, cause I know fit borrow you. For your love, I go stand for you. Girl, you're my ima, yo. Girl, you're my ima, oh. You turn a man to a sinner, oh. Girl, you're my ima, yo. Girl, you're my ima, oh. You turn a man John Cena, oh. You turn a man John Cena, oh. Girl, I dey wait for your door. That's why I no go come on. Your body tight, no be Chinese, so. Your beauty enter my eyes, so. Baby, come close, make we dance tonight. Anything you want, I go buy tonight. Come with your friends, make we vibe tonight, oh. And we could dance tonight. Girl, you're my ima, yo. Girl, you're my ima, oh. You turn a man to a sinner, oh.
It's Amy's sound.
Big vibe. DJ Patman. Baby, give me one dance, baby, give me one dance tonight. Yeah. Baby, we could all over, baby, we could all over tonight. Yeah. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Baby, give me one dance, baby, give me one dance tonight. Yeah. Baby, we could all over, baby, we could all over tonight. Yeah. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. I put my mind for the money. Come dance for the money. I take you down to my mommy. Come bounce on me, shawty.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Hey, I wonder what you are. Hey. Shake on for the morning. I wanna dance up your body. Why your waist make I spend the rubber? Shawty say make I spend the dollar. If I do you too short, and me I'm a too short. Somebody, I will take you tsunami. I will take you to Paris. Somebody.
Baby, give me one dance, baby, give me one dance tonight. Yeah. Baby, we could all over, baby, we could all over tonight. Yeah. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. I put my mind for the money. Come dance for the money. I take you down to my mommy. Come bounce on me, shawty. My mind for the money. Come dance for the money. I take you down to my mommy. Come bounce on me, shawty.
Ride for me, die for me. You said that you gon' take your time with me. So why all these niggas come spy on me? You say I'm the queen, but you lie to me. Am I yours? Are you mine? Or are we passing time? I don't know. I feel high. You got me on a timeline. Yeah. So call it for me now. Do it once. Baby, give me one dance. Baby, give me one dance tonight. Yeah.
Baby, we could all over, baby, we could all over tonight. Yeah. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. Tonight, oh, hey. I put my mind for the money. Come dance for the money. I take you down to my mommy. Come bounce on me, shawty. My mind for the money. I take you down to my mommy.
So call it for me now. Do it once. So call it for me now. Do it once. So call it for me. Do it once. So call it for me now. Yeah.
started off me and G. We running from the police. Head down, pray to Jesus. Won't lie, most of them ain't believe. Ain't no one gonna stress me. Put that on my name, put it all in my music. So if in my pain, I ain't trying with them pagans. 99 lame, ever had a home invasion. By the face, you're on 12, I'm chosen. I ain't trying to be the best. Look at me, I'm dripped out, 24 with finesse. Ever had a threesome, my brother, he's great. Young G's living wild, if you ask me, no regret.
Steady, 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 I'm walking. Burning all night, no sleeping.
No sleeping.
Steady, 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 I'm walking. Burning all night, no sleeping. Move it, yeah. Shout out, yeah. Move it, yeah. Oh my guys, make me shy, yeah. Move it, yeah. Shout out, yeah. Move it, yeah. Oh my guys, make me shy, yeah.
Didn't see the greatness, now to realize it. Plenty nights never slipping in the trenches, and no fishes. We was dealing with the shots like the smoke up. Trying to get up to Mars. Might say change, we started making millions. Out there drilling better my civilians. I'm just low-key chillin' with my niggas. I ain't worried about no art for their feelings. Fuck 'em. Look at where we came from, we gotta celebrate. Money talk all day, all we conversate. Happy all shall I yeah. So ready, babe, I can't relate. I'm just glad we on time being late. Look at where we came from, we gotta celebrate. Money talk all day, all we conversate. Happy all shall I yeah. So ready, babe, I can't relate. I'm just glad we on time being late.
Steady, 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 I'm walking. Burning all night, no sleeping. Steady, 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 I'm walking. Burning all night, no sleeping. Move it, yeah. Shout out, yeah. Oh my guys, make me shy, yeah. Move it, yeah. Shout out, yeah. Move it, yeah. Oh my guys, make me shy, yeah. Vibe.
It smokes kitchen, baby.
DJ Pat Max. Young Tub.
Jolly boy, yeah. Calabar boy, you gon' make me a biggie man. Take off my thing like a laundry man. No more pens, I'm a winner man. Provide me with the things I wear, things I eat, song I sing, make you sing along. Things I do, they are all for fun because all I fun is my lifestyle. Oluwa cover me, cause Oluwa cover me. I am bad, I know. This is not holy too, so make you no judge me, cause I'm not holy. Oluwa bless you, follow me. Anywhere I go, where they count plenty money. So make you know the envy me, so make you know the envy me. Oluwa providing, Oluwa cover me, cause Oluwa cover me. I am bad, I know. This is not holy too, so make you no judge me, cause I'm not holy. Oluwa bless you, follow me. Anywhere I go, where they count plenty money. So make you know the envy me. It's my lifestyle. I have paid my dues to the priest, to the street, to my friends and my movement too. Sacrifice is sweet. Song I sing make you sing along. Things I do they are all for fun because all I fun is my lifestyle. Oluwa cover me, cause Oluwa cover me. I am bad, I know. This is not holy too, so make you no judge me, cause I'm not holy. Oluwa bless you, follow me. Anywhere I go, where they count plenty money. So make you know the envy me, so make you know the envy me. Oluwa providing, Oluwa cover me, cause Oluwa cover me. I am bad, I know. This is not holy too, so make you no judge me, cause I'm not holy. Oluwa bless you, follow me. Anywhere I go, where they count plenty money. So make you know the envy me. It's my lifestyle. Song I sing make you sing along. Things I do they are all for fun because all I fun is my lifestyle. Song I sing make you sing along. Things I do they are all for fun because all I fun is my lifestyle. Oluwa cover me, cause Oluwa cover me. I am bad, I know. This is not holy too, so make you no judge me, cause I'm not holy. Oluwa bless you, follow me. Anywhere I go, where they count plenty money. So make you know the envy me.
on the mix. Right. Real sound, no faking.
It's Smoke's Kitchen, baby.
That Smoke's, yeah. Oh. Daddy Banty, you already know. Oh my girl, I am waiting, and I don't want to go. I am me there. I want day that place where you did. Or you come to my side and tell me what you like. You be my money vibe. Not true, I know the lie. No lie. Now maybe you me. Don't try to leave me. Cause if you leave me, you gon' make me end up fire. I wanna tell your sister, cause you don't cut my liver. Listen to my vibes and my guitar. You the make my day shiver. I'm always gonna win, never gonna lose. So many pains and pressure, they keep man on the low. So waste no time, very man waste no time. Come to my room, make we show us time. If it don't bad for you, you go bad for me. If you be my baby boo, I'm gonna say to you, drive you around the town. Cause the things you did do me for body. Baby girl, you did sweet me for body. And the way you did move your body, you did put me for lockdown. Now shut down. Now baby, you me. Don't try to leave me. Cause if you leave me, you gon' make me enter fire. I wanna tell your sister, cause you don't cut my liver. Listen to my vibes and my guitar. You the make my day shiver. My doctor say now you be my medicine, no. Him talk say love is blind, I swear me I cannot see you. Like butterfly from my belly, I feel sing song from my baby, yeah, yeah. Go, 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 shawty. Me, I just want be a baby, yeah, yeah. Me, I don't lost my stamina. I'm no fake focus, I don't lose that. Oh, yeah, so call me a criminal. If you give me a chance, I go steal your heart, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, you be. Don't try to leave me. Cause if you leave me, you gon' make me end up fire. I wanna tell your sister, cause you don't cut my liver. Listen to my vibes and my guitar. You the make my day shiver. Smoke City's wall.
It's Smoke's Kitchen, baby.
That's Smoke City, oh. Smoke City's wall. So make you come outside to baby. So many things we gotta do, baby. You put the fire in my eyes, so shawty. Burning bush. And I love you control myself again. Boy, you tell me your location. Only 5 minutes, baby, I get there. Boy, you tell me your location. Only 5 minutes, baby, I get there. You dey cause your attention. All I want is to make you my baby. You dey cause your attention. All I want is to make you my baby. Is emotional. You call it madness, but I call it love. Supernatural. I'll be keeping it real with you till the day I die. I'll be all your hands. Baby, I know it day without you. Cause all I need is somebody when it's somebody. Oh, I'm feeling so lonely. When you there, I'm gonna look at you. Boy, you tell me your location. Only 5 minutes, baby, I get there. Boy, you tell me your location. Only 5 minutes, baby, I get there. You dey cause your attention. All I want is to make you my baby. You dey cause your attention. All
make you come outside too, baby. Make we enjoy. So many things we gotta do, baby. You make my world go round. You put the fire in my eyes, so shawty. Burning bush. And I love you control myself again. Oh, you tell me your location. Only 5 minutes, baby, I get there. Oh, you tell me your location. Only 5 minutes, baby, I get there. You dey cause the hypertension. All I want is to make you my baby. You dey cause the hypertension. All I want is to make you my baby.
It's Smoke's Kitchen, baby. Smoke's Kitchen.
That's Smoke's, yeah. Oh.
Come to your baby, yeah, yeah.
You be my baby, yeah. My African lady. You make a mark on the red day. When I see you, my eyes are red. I'm getting distracted, I'm indebted. You be corona, then I'm infected. Ruling my case, making me change. All I want is me and you. Make me just stay love. Baby, I'm my all. Baby, I'm my baby, yeah. Make we just stay love. Baby, you're my all. Baby, you're my baby, yeah.
You and I, Bonnie and Clyde. You do me something way I know go fit to try deny. Is this love? Is this real? Them go talk and I can't stop it. I'm your own. Let them know. Say rude boy, bad boy, you capture my heart. Hey, whoa, rude boy, you bad on my swag. Rude boy, bad boy, you capture my heart. Oh, word. Rude boy, bad boy, you capture my heart. Hey, whoa, rude boy, you capture my swag. Rude boy, bad boy, you capture my heart. Oh, yeah. Make we just stay love. Baby, you're my all. Hey, you're my baby, yeah, yeah. Make we just stay love. Baby, you're my all. Hey, you're my baby, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You can tell your friends. Say that you are go marry my girl. Cause you stole my heart without knowing. I dream about you when I'm sleeping, yeah. You and I, in my room, life of a rock star. We got boom, boom, boom. You're on this mood, I can control my feelings. No one but you put me through, yeah. Rude girl, capture my heart, they whoa. I know say you back to my swag, they whoa. Bad girl, you capture my heart, oh.
Word. Rude boy, bad boy, you capture my heart. Hey, whoa, rude boy, you capture my swag. Rude boy, bad boy, you capture my heart. Oh, yeah.
Make we just stay love. Baby, you're my all. Baby, you're my baby, yeah. Make we just stay love. Baby, you're my all. Baby, you're my baby, yeah.
Smoke City Wall.
Smoke's Kitchen.
Real sound, no faking.
Smoke's Kitchen.
That Smoke say yeah. Oh. Brain buzz daddy yo. Ayaku. When you look into my eyes, you get many things you will see.
My head I just they wait. Now my down for they wanna see. But I give God the glory. Say no work as a plan. They wanna kill my glory. But God said I lie. They come, they use me, they come, they whine me. Like me for front, for my back, them deny me. Ulu, I carry my mother, just they show them. I be like fire, I me they burn them. Waiting God don't do, no man go fit to stop. Waiting God don't bless, no man go fit to curse. Waiting God don't do, no man go fit to stop. Waiting God don't bless, no man go fit to curse. I just need to be a little trips, yeah. We started playing games in the street, yeah. God bless me, make nobody stress me. I'm gonna make it, even if you hate me. I was born in the street, nobody can strike me. Bad boy pull up in about the highway. But I really need some cash in my hands. When I'm on a cruise, need to try for my mains. 24/7, we keep hustling tight. We ain't talk about this, niggas keep on battling tight. I ain't seen no trouble when it's time to rise. So many haters wanna bring me down, but waiting God don't do, no man go fit to stop. Waiting God don't bless, no man go fit to curse. Waiting God don't do, no man go fit to stop. Waiting God don't bless, no man go fit to curse. Waiting God don't bless, no man fit to cause. Taking life check, cause man no be God. Too much pain and too much pressure. When man fall, man gonna rise. They never believe I'm gonna be a man. I'm walking with the grace of the Most High. When I lost my dad, nobody they observe me. The uncles way I got, now them they lose guard me. I thank God for my mama when they stand by me. Not true life story, I did tell you I know they lie. So when I wake up in the morning, me I pray to Jah. Make you bless my music, cause I wanna be a star. Waiting God don't do, no man go fit to stop. Waiting God don't bless, no man go fit to curse. Waiting God don't do, no man go fit to stop. Waiting God don't bless, no man go fit to curse.
Smoke City Wall.
Smoke's Kitchen.
Real sound, no faking.
Smoke City Wall.
That smoke say yeah.
B-Star, the Naughty Oracle.
I've been junkie, I've been thinking my life. I got so many reasons, I got to be alright. What I don't fool my eye, I no feel sleep for night. I did take time, I did check in my life. I'm married to the grind where I did my time, because you got my tea. I know the tractor they my side, chocolate them house, they give me wickedest wine. So many things I know 59, I don't bother get the things I know 55. On a long road, biggie man live a long story. Keep your long notes, advice I be making no tell me. When your girl won't follow me, no remedy, she got wine for daddy. I know be good for nothing, when she sit on my thing, she gon' know I'm nothing. Oh mama, the party shaded. So many friends don't show me shaded. Every day not to step up my game. I dey try my best, but they notice my name. I know the tractor they my side, chocolate them house, they give me wickedest wine. So many things I know 59, I don't bother get the things I know 55. On a long road, biggie man live a long story. Keep your long notes, advice I be making no tell me.
Give me time and your space. Make all up for the place. I no go ever down for your love, oh. I give you all that you dream of. I'm than a good, she nice. She give me all the melody and vibes. I'm than a good, she nice. Oh, give me that loving, yeah, 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 yeah. Give me that loving, that loving, that loving, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me that loving, yeah, yeah. Give me that loving, give me that loving, yeah, yeah. Some of them are young, some of them are snitching. She be my melody, I've been searching. She's the fine girl I've been searching for, yeah, yeah.
I'ma get Eminado. She fine past 3, mommy, what now? Your waist personality, they cause kata kata. Oh, I'm tempting to touch your body, oh. If you don't know, you gon' know.
Loving you is all I want to do. Oh, oh. Make you know, come turn me to moo.
Oh, I'ma get shaky like that. Like a dart from me, Jaji. Come rotate it for your Zadi, yeah. Black drop top Maserati, yeah. I'ma get shaky like that, though. Like a dart from me, Zadi. Come rotate it for your Zadi, yeah. Black drop top Maserati, oh. Give me that loving, give me that loving, that loving, that loving, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me that loving, yeah, yeah. Give me that loving, give me that loving, yeah, yeah. Give me time on your side, make all up for the mind. Christine, look at you. I'm a good, she nice. I'm a good, she nice. Give me that love. Yeah. Give me that love. Give me that love. Give me that love. Give me that love. Yeah.
Can't mix. Your body nice and clean, I swear not let you go. She said she wants some reggae and blues. Some reggae and blues. Bring it down low, make the girls them come through. Make the girls them come through. The party's on the hot wire. All of the girls them a wine. When I hear the sound, the party's on the hot wire. All of the girls them a wine. When I hear the sound. Tell a lot of the girls when they come around. Sugar boy, David Brown, Daddy Town. When the music drop, them a boogie down. When I hear the beat, them a come around. Show the wine for me, no they waste time. Long time. Let the music play for a long time. Long time. Let the music go for a long time. Long time. Let the music play for a long time. Long time. Let the music go for a long time.
Drop another wicked vibe, be like you want jazz. Sun up, sun down, it happen for the seaside. Hey, wait, did the real beats in the stand for your ghetto? She go wine figure eight though. Now they want start to hit though. Sugar be easy, take them for a ride. Things like this, them know they see I'm twice. All my cousins and then they sleep all night. Things like this and then they hear I'm twice. Batman, David Brown, take them for a ride. Things like this and then they see I'm twice. All my girls hustling for the night. Things like this and then they hear I'm twice.
Tell a lot of the girls when they come around. Sugar boy, David Brown, Daddy Town. we drop them a boogie down, When I hear the beat, they won't come around, Show the wine for me, no they waste time, Long time, long time. Let the music play for a long time, long time, long time. Let the music go for a long time, long time, long time. Let the music play for a long time, long time, long time. Let the music go for a long time.
Hey, DJ Real Bits.
No, man. Number one, David Brown.
It's your boy Joe Ving again. Eleleba.
My guy, I got the vibes, I got the juice. I got some girls in the mood. Some girls really like to the groove, yeah. I say I got the vibes, I got the juice. I got some girls in the mood. Some girls really like to the groove, yeah. Them they make girls the chisuru. Anytime when we drop, money not the language, oh, I got my voltage, oh, got my own page, oh, I roll it down there, roll it. Feel 'em, drop it down, let the people feel 'em. From the east to the west, all the girls them feel 'em. This brand new sound, everybody them feel 'em. Yeah, them make them feel 'em. Drop the sound, the music them feel 'em. All the fine girls them come, them feel 'em. We move to a quiet bomb, the people them feel 'em. Yeah. My guy, I got the vibes, I got the juice. I got some girls in the mood. Some girls really like to the groove, yeah. I say I got the vibes, I got the juice. I got some girls in the mood. Some girls really like to the groove, yeah. Wolololo, 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 wolololo. Them they make girls the chisuru. Wololo, wololo. Anytime when we drop wololo, wololo, wololo.
Say I got the juice, I got the vibe. So now me be the guy, she want knock for the night. Say my back and I make her feel alright. Are you? Baby, let me be your teacher. Come with your sister. My guys go please ya, yo. Cause anything you want, say it there. For this area, come back with start ya, yo. She don't fall for me. It don't go funny. Baby, come let me cover you. Anything you define, call on me, Jovin.
Them they make girls the chisuru. Wololo, wololo. Anytime when we drop wololo, 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 wololo. Them they make girls the chisuru. Wololo, wololo. Anytime when we drop wololo, wololo, wololo.
yeah, you final. When you dem my mind, a reminder. I no go lie, you find past Rihanna. Even when you know we're designer, I no go tire. Give me a love, make a fire, fire. Say man no go to out. Even when man dem Maya. Give you sweet passy chocolate. Cause your love they make man they meditate. See me no go leave you, we go date. So baby come close, maybe we relate. My baby sucker, ooh. She like the way I pop, ooh. Come close my auto. Okay, let's take it slow. I like the way that you bend down low. Every my girl, I no go let you go. Hey, I no go let you go, no. Okay, let's take it slow. I like the way that you bend down low. Every my girl, I no go let you go. Hey, I no go let you go, no. You get my heart captivated. Sweet melodies, you give me latest. You give me this, I take it. But give me, I no go fake it. See the love I get for you, I got info. Whenever I come around, don't call me fool. When I say I love you, say you love me too. Cause I love you, my boo. Say my love is serious. Got me so confused. Say girl, your back is dangerous. Oh, you look so dangerous. My baby sucker, ooh. She like the way I pop, ooh. Come close my auto. Okay, let's take it slow. I like the way that you bend down low. Every my girl, I no go let you go. Hey, I no go let you go, no. Okay, let's take it slow. I like the way that you bend down low. Every my girl, I no go let you go. Hey, I no go let you go, no. Slow down, my baby. Give me one time. With you, I'm ready. Slow down, my baby. Give me one time. With you, I'm ready. Amanda, she's just 19, I'm ready to
make the money, chop the money, make the money continue to come.